live.
Those look like Chevys.
Getting me hungry.
No. Every time I drive past it, I just get sad.
I know, just another wasted opportunity.
No. Oh well.
Happens.
Volume sounds good.
Yeah, volume looks good on my side. Did you check the stream? Is that what you're confirming? That it looks good?
Yeah. Jeez, you guys got murdered.
Yeah. Twice.
Yeah, but
But it's
at least it was
sandwiched
a sandwich.
Yeah, it was sandwiched in between something pretty cool. All right. What let me get up the wild card. I can't believe the fucking fool. I'm going to Google Docs. All right. Do we have our updates?
Nice
No.
having.
Oh.
Sorry. You saying?
I was saying, do we have the update on our picks? I got to see what we picked.
Oh.
Oh God, I just reading the text. I wanted Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, we rode all favorites this week, which is
No, besides the Wise Bowl, it's the
Not
only one.
great.
It's the only one I won.
yeah.
And then what was the last one? Bengals. 8.5. That was cringe.
I had the boys.
Oh, you also had the Chargers. No, Bills. Sorry, Bills. Dolphins
Under. Which was over after like
43.
the first play.
Yeah.
The third quarter.
Yeah.
Is it 43 and a half?
Yep. 43.5.
It was 24-21 after that fumble touchdown. And that was like the first drive.
Just not a good look for the boys this week. We'll be back. It's all right.
Playoffs are hard.
Playoffs are hard. I think I'm good the rest of the way though. I know what's going down.
You?
I think so.
Yes. I think I know what's going down. I'm wrong. A tragic season. I will put something on our story. Go.
Yep, I got it. Something on my snap. You're up on Instagram.
That's what I'm doing now. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm setting up my desk. I'm ready to go. All right, getting started. 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to the Wise Guys Podcast. I'm your host, Brady Fitzgerald, joined as always by my co-host, Chris Hagan.
Good to be back.
It's good to be back. Chris, how's your head feeling? And tell everybody what happened.
It's so I had a mild concussion that happened last week, Monday, I guess it was. I went skiing for the first time, having a lot of fun.
Nice.
I mastered the bunny hill.
Uh-huh.
I had done one relatively successful run on the green slopes, and then the second time around, things got a little out of hand, and I think I hit a patch of ice as I was flying uncontrollably down the mountain. Do you go skiing?
I've skied before.
Okay.
You get
it's hard to
fast.
stop.
Yeah, no, you get fast.
it's like muscles that you never have used. You're turning your knees like in, like to slow yourself down, and like you're turning your ankles. So it's hard to learn that muscle memory, and when you're going that fast was a little bit difficult for me. Oh, I flew, smashed my face on the ground. Obviously, I was wearing a helmet, so I didn't die, but had to spend a couple days as a vegetable, and I'm back now.
So how was that? You mentioned you were getting a little tired of just not being able to look at your phone. How in a phone dominated society, how was going a couple days without having to look at it,
I mean,
without being able to look at it?
first day I just slept the whole day pretty much.
Yeah,
That it really wasn't that big. The only issue was I had some money on TCU. I kept having to ask Siri what was going on, and
and it just never got any better. It just never
No.
got any better the whole time.
it was 10-7. Like they scored to make it 10-7, and I was like, all right, like this is a game. Like at least they're not gonna get blown out. Like just looked rough at first, and then just kept asking. I remember like the one time I asked, and it was like Siri was just mean about it. She was like, TCU is getting destroyed by Georgia, 59-7. And I was like, oh my god, like I did not know it was gonna get that bad.
That was a bloodbath.
Yeah, I mean it's
That was an absolute bloodbath.
it's
We can get to that when we talk about
gotta
college.
be like the worst national championship ever, but yeah, we can talk. But I was up in the Poconos, a house full of people, so I was able to keep myself entertained for the most part. I wasn't just like at home by myself, so that was nice.
That's good. That's good. Now you're rest up. You're rejuvenated. You're ready to go. Head's feeling better.
Yeah. My eyes are bleeding now from watching so much football. It's the polar opposite.
And this was when did classes start? This week or next week?
Next week, next Wednesday.
All right, so you still have some time to
Don't
recover
know.
before you're thrown back into the
Right.
fire.
Yeah, so it's a lot of just taking it easy. Right.
Well, that's good.
On the
Glad
grind.
you're healthy. Glad Mike McDaniels wasn't there to tell you to go ski again. He would have just been like right on the
Back in
sidelines.
there.
Like,
We
"Yeah,
did
get
have
back in
we
there."
did have ski passes for the next day too.
Nice.
Oh, he definitely would have been like,
Yeah, get right back in
get
there.
bud.
Well, good. I'm glad we only missed you for a week. Glad it was a short recovery. But now we got some playoff games to get into. A lot to break down. We're gonna start with Monday's game, the end of Tom Brady, the end of the Super Bowl pick, the last Super Bowl pick left for the wise guys. And so is this it for Tom Brady? That's kind of the main thing coming out of this.
I can't. I have a gut that he's gonna play at least another season somewhere else.
That's what I think so too.
So I feel like it's almost the point where I'm like sad for him because I feel like he can't give it up, and now that he's divorced, it's almost like he has to go continue to prove himself,
Mm-hmm.
like almost win one more to make it worth it. I don't know,
Yeah.
like, I've never been
Sunk cost
divorced,
fallacy.
so I
but-
don't know, but it seems like as a guy, like that's your instinct. It's like, all right, well, I did this. Like now, I have to go show everyone that I made the right decision.
Yeah, I did.
Instead of just like
yep.
swallowing your pride and retiring.
And I think Tom Brady's the type of guy who needs something like that. He needs an urge to do it. Like everyone calling him the GOAT is gotta hurt his lust and his strive for the next Super Bowl. So maybe it was the divorce that he needed, and now he's taking this off season. Everyone like, oh, he should retire. He should retire. And no, I think he's playing one more year too. And I don't know where it's gonna be. That's the tricky. I have three. I think it's got to be one of the three teams. It's gonna be either the Niners, the Raiders, or the Pats. That's just like what
the Dolphins.
There's no way. Like if he does that, he's dead to me. No, he won't be dead to me. But don't go in the division. You already have all the Pats fans love you.
Jets uniform too.
There's always been swaps with him with a Jets uniform. The final challenge. That's why it's the final challenge.
Final challenge. Yeah, that's the one that I saw.
It's
where no one else has succeeded.
Yeah, where it
really
said
is
it couldn't
the
be
final.
done. Yep.
Careers go to die.
it's funny. It's weird. It's like he has had connections with Sean Payton before. Now they're both free agents. Technically, they have to trade for Payton, but it's a weird situation, and I don't know what teams besides the three that I kind of mentioned would take. And the Dolph. I feel like the Dolphins would be a perfect because Tua. Who knows if he's ever going to play football again? But
But we
they
also said that after his first concussion, and he was back in 2 weeks.
yeah, that's true. We're just surprised he
Totally
wasn't
opposite.
playing the. Yeah, we're just surprised he wasn't playing the
Either
wild
of
card.
if he
If he
should
should
be or
be,
not.
yeah.
Obviously, I think he shouldn't. That's another topic.
And it's funny. We started off our show. I probably shouldn't have started off the show with talking about where's Tom Brady gonna go because I was just about to say how it's just gonna dominate the media until he signs
Mm.
somewhere. It's just gonna be every story that everyone really talks about, and it should be. We should be talking right now about how the Cowboys defense, they. I mean, the offense for the Bucks didn't look good all year, but they held their own. They didn't. They stopped the goat in the playoffs, which is hard to do, and it's funny, Tom. It's in possibly his last game as a Buck, or possibly in the NFL, lost his record of 8-0 or 7-0 against the Cowboys.
Yeah, it's sad.
It is,
It really is.
it is. But
Um,
Dax looked all right. You know, he didn't have a turnover. He actually looked he looked great, and their offense was just kind of moving. Are you worried about the Cowboys?
I'd be a little bit worried. It's if they look good this week, if they win this week, then I'm worried. Because, like you said, like I know it's Tom Brady, and that was the narrative going into the game. Was like you kind of forget how bad the Bucks were.
Yeah,
It's like the Cowboys have to beat Tom Brady. The Cowboys had to beat an 8-9 Buccaneers team that limped into the playoffs and looked like dog shit all year. So the Cowboys have kind of been all over the place this year. Like one week we'll think that they look like the best team in the NFL, and then the next week they almost lose to the Texans. Dak throws 3 interceptions. So you never know what you're going to get with him, which is why it makes it a little bit scary, I guess, that it looks so good. But it's also kind of like taking care of business, I think.
yeah. I thought this was
The
more of a
Bucks
taking
were the
care of
worst team
business
in the
too.
NFC playoffs.
Yeah, they were terrible. They were bad, and you could tell in this game, like they couldn't coach, they couldn't move the ball at all, and it kept like starting to be like, oh, if they linger around, especially with these mixed extra points, like if they can make this, like it was 18-0 at half, and you're like, oh, we've seen Tom Brady this year do 17-point comeback in the fourth quarter. So once they started, they kept scoring. God, Maher couldn't hit an extra point to save his life, but after the last
Have
two
we ever
touchdowns, it was
seen
pretty
something like
close to
that?
over. No, that was ridiculous. That was just absolutely
Yeah, that
atrocious.
that was a new one for me at least.
He,
Is
even
every like
though,
every single one?
and even though he's been your kicker all year, and now you're in the playoffs, you got to try to find a new kicker, right?
No, you can't. Like if you stick with him, he's going to come back and bite you.
Right?
How
Like
long have
you,
we been watching football for? And you see a bad kicker and you're like, that's definitely not going to cause a problem. It's going to cause a problem. Like he's
well,
going to miss a big kick against 49ers and
and
it's going to cost him the game.
if this is a close game, those extra points matter a lot. He missed 3. That's 3 whole points that he missed 4. Sorry, so that's 4 points that he missed. And if the Bucks team is close to them, like that's a whole possession that you're missing out on just by
Right.
missing those that should be gimme points. So if I'm Maher, I'm worried I'm losing a job, and if I'm the Cowboys, I'm definitely getting rid of his ass, or
Or
at least
just start
sign him.
going for
Yeah,
like Chip Kelly, just go for 2 every time.
or just sign a backup this week. You know, if he's doing well in practice. Oh, poor Maher got a little ankle injury in practice. He's inactive this week.
Right.
Yeah. And can you have 2 kickers rostered for the game?
You could, but you just have to take away one of your other roster spots.
Yeah, but you have healthy scratches all the time, right? There's a bunch of guys that don't play the games and roster spots open up. I guess you're gonna need. It's gonna have to. You're right. It's gonna be some special teams player that
It's
you're
more,
missing out. But
it's
yeah,
like position wise. Like,
yeah,
oh, now you only have linebackers instead of 5. Something
yeah.
along
That's
those
fair.
lines.
All right.
I don't know. It's literally like I said. I've never seen a situation like this before. in the playoffs. A guy who's like not the best kicker in the world, but he's fine. Like he's
And
been
he's
on
been
the
fine
same
for you
team
all
for a few
season.
years,
Yeah.
and he misses every extra point in the playoff game. Shocking. Like there's nothing to explain it other than you got the yips.
I was happy to see Dak like mad about it, like getting it fired
Yeah.
up on the sidelines. Like, come on, like we need to be able to get these because as I mentioned earlier, they could have come into importance if the Bucks ever did come back,
Yeah.
but they didn't. All right, next game. I guess we weren't really doing the wise picks. This is a wise pick. We did them since we didn't have a pod. We didn't get to explain them. I just thought the
That
Bengals
was
were
the
going to
pick
be on
that
a
I
roll.
won. And gotta
Yes,
get credit for winning one.
yes,
At
yes.
least.
You got Cowboys.
Took the
-2.
Cowboys. Basically because I've been falling into this Bucks trap all year.
This was
like,
a little
all right,
sweet
I'm
revenge for
finally-
you. Yeah, it's a little sweet
I'm finally
revenge.
gonna hit one, and I was rooting for them, of course, because I hate Dallas. But yeah, it was. This is finally when we can put the thing to bed that it's like, oh, but it's Tom Brady.
Yes.
No, they're bad.
They're done. They're officially out.
That's finally like, but still, even in my head, it's like, well, if he goes to another team this offseason, like I wouldn't want to see him.
No, you wouldn't. Look, it's that type of pedigree, and when you've been to the playoffs, when you have that the quarterback who's been there, he's been to the Super Bowl 10 times. That just means something. It means whenever how bad he's played all season, that means something. All right.
Course. Like it's the status quo that he's scary.
Yes. Yep. All right. Bengals, Ravens. Talk about finally putting them to rest. Goddamn Ravens.
They hung on as long as they could.
They should have won this game.
Should have.
They should have won this game. This game was decided by that fumble QB sneak where he went over the top, popped it right off, 100-yard touchdown, and that was the game. That's how much they lost by. So that score doesn't happen, and they're still in it, and they're beating the AFC champions from last year.
Oh, that was one of the most electric plays I think I've ever seen.
It was pretty crazy. Game. Yeah. It was just
and like Huntley afterwards was like trying to argue, and it's like, no, dude.
No, that's right out.
Get in.
No. And it's just like that. They said it right when it happened. It was a 14-point swing, and just after that, like they were all of a sudden in the rear view looking back. And John Harbaugh had some weird time management this game. It just seemed like there was none. And
huddling up on the last drive was insane.
Yeah. And he had a timeout left at the end of the game.
Yeah. If you ever finish a game with a timeout left, like that's a fireable offense.
Yeah, I agree. And the Ravens, so now Lamar didn't show up to the game. The whole big story about this is Lamar. He didn't show up to the game. He looks like he's done. It seems like some of the players think he might come back, but that sign just shows me like he's not coming back.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how exactly the Ravens did him dirty.
No, I don't either.
They did offer they offered him the extension.
He just wanted more money.
Right. And it was like a pretty big extension, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it was like 200. I think it was right under the Kyler Murray one. And that's the issue with quarterbacks nowadays is that Deshaun Watson's getting all this guaranteed money. Kyler Murray's getting all this guaranteed money, and they've done nothing.
Neither of those guys won an MVP.
No, and they've done nothing, and Deshaun's actually done negative to impact him, and it hasn't affected his contract work whatsoever. So that's why wherever Lamar goes, he's gonna get whatever third round or whatever first round picks they want because they're gonna franchise tag him and trade him, and then they're gonna sign him to this massive extension. So if you're a team looking for Lamar, you are giving up not only the contract, but at least 2 first-round picks and a player, at least. So,
you think it's a guarantee that he gets franchise tagged?
Yeah, I just think that's just business at that point. You gotta franchise tag him and trade him. You can't just let him walk for nothing, and you could get a whole haul for him. So, I would do it. I just don't know what team is going to be that team to trade for him. Commanders?
Well, you guys have the best odds to get him.
I saw that. That was weird. I'm intrigued by it. I wanted Lamar. I thought we should have drafted Lamar when Brady was still on the team in that last 2 years. Have him sit behind Brady for a couple of years, and then if you're not going to resign him anyways, do it. And that's what pissed me off when we signed Newton. It's like you could have had Lamar as your 31st pick in the draft, but instead you signed Newton a year later and do absolutely nothing with him. But whatever. I don't know. I don't see the Pats trading for him. Just doesn't seem like something they do. I don't know why the odds are that high though.
So on Action Network, the top odds of the Jets at plus 300.
I've been seeing a
Seems to make
lot of
the
stuff
most
about.
sense.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of things about the Jets, and right now it's like Jets, Raiders, Pats among favorites.
Atlanta.
Atlanta, I could see Atlanta. I don't see the Panthers doing it. They're not. I don't think they just haven't had the luck and they're also not a high market franchise. I just doesn't feel like a Panthers move to me. Um, but the Dolphins are sitting there. I mean, he's from Miami, but they don't
That's
have
what
any
I was
first.
thinking.
They don't have any first round. They traded them all for all these players, and I don't. It's
Yeah.
I'm baffled on where this goes, but I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see him land somewhere else. I want him to land somewhere else. I feel like I'm tired of seeing him in Baltimore, and I think it would be cool for Baltimore to, because I feel like they're still good. Like they're still a good team, and
I mean, they were one play away from
yeah,
winning the
from
divisional
winning,
round with a backup quarterback. No
and
receivers.
yeah, no receivers at all. They have they're a good franchise. Like they always seem like they get on their feet. So I'd like to see them with tryouts somewhere else. I think that would be cool. A little change of direction for the franchise. I'm sure if you're a Ravens fan though, you don't want him gone.
Oh, of course not.
No.
I mean, he's done like so much for the team in the city the last few years. It feels like Ravens fans, their identity is Lamar Jackson.
Yes. Yep.
Went from being Ray Lewis to then
To having
years in between there, and now Lamar Jackson.
yeah.
So I don't know where you go without him.
No, I don't know either. So it's gonna be definitely an interesting story to develop. That's gonna be another main thing of this offseason because there's it's him, it's the guy the rookie's getting drafted. It's Tom Brady. I mean, I guess Derek Carr's in there,
Or
but yeah, I guess. But
Wentz.
Wentz, all these guys gonna be circling around finding new teams, and I don't think Carr and Wentz they're not getting starting jobs. If I
Carr will definitely get a starting job. Wentz will not.
ugh, I think a
I
team's
think
making
Carr is
I think teams making a
enough
terrible
to.
mistake if they do that. Whatever team does that, just prepare for mediocrity.
Well, you hate him because he was on your fantasy team and he sucked, so you're biased.
He's not good. When
He's
is
fine.
Derek Carr's never put fear in my eyes.
No, he hasn't put fear, but like neither is Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, and look what happened with
Like that's
Kirk.
pretty similar, right? But he got the deal.
Yeah,
like, he
yeah,
got
yeah.
paid.
No,
So
I
that was
agree.
my point.
Yeah.
Not saying that like it worked out.
All right, let's do this
Saying
from the
that he
Bengals
will go
side.
somewhere.
They did win, so we'll give them some credit for that. They lost another offensive lineman, so they're coming in pretty banged up against the Bills, and the Bills also didn't look great. So it's going to be an interesting matchup to see which team plays to their real potential and plays to the AFC Championship game. I hope the Bengals take care of business because I'm biased against the Bills, but with their injuries, I just don't know if they can
Must
do
hate
it.
DeMar Hamlin.
No, I don't hate DeMar Hamlin. Everyone else on the team I hate though. And it's weird.
Yeah, the
Speaking of DeMar
Bills,
Hamlin,
like,
that's the matchup again. Like, get your boots strapped. Like this is going to be an emotional game. It's going to be all over everything. DeMar Hamlin game, stuff like that. So get ready for the narratives coming out.
I am a little worried about Josh Allen.
Yeah, let's jump to that
He
game real
just
quick.
turned the ball over a lot.
A little too much. A little too much. It was and this was the type of game where in the regular season they lost these types of games where it was them against Minnesota, against the Jets, against the Dolphins themselves. And they if they turn the ball over a lot, you can get on them quickly.
That's the other thing is the defense has not looked all that good.
No, they've given up a
Like,
lot of
if you're letting
points.
Skylar Thompson, I know that one of them was defensive, but if you're letting Skylar Thompson put up that many points against you, not a great sign.
No, not at all. And Skyler, he had a terrible game, and they lost by 3. Like, an awful game, and they lost by 3. So, the team's gonna be able to figure out how to put a lot more than just 31 on this team, and you get a defensive touchdown in there, could get a little scary for the Bills. All right, speaking of which, let's go to the Vikings. I can't believe I picked the Vikings. It was all year, and like the reason why I picked them is because everyone was on New York. Everyone.
Yeah, because it was like the predictable upset.
Yeah, and it was a predictable upset. I wanted to zag when everybody zigged, and I was just like, look, this team, like they won 13 games. Like I know they've been bad. I know the
Find ways to
DVOA.
win.
Find ways to win, and I was thinking this Giants team. I know they've been finding ways to win too, but I just thought the high end talent on the Vikings would help, but it did not.
Ass.
They stink.
I'm gonna give some credit to Daniel Jones because I've hated
He
him
played
for a
really
long,
well.
Not hated him, like hated on his game.
Yeah.
A long time. That was the best I've seen him play outside of some of the games that he's played against my team.
He was a
He
killer.
was basically perfect.
Yeah, he was a killer.
You see what happens when they use him on the ground. Like, he's actually hard to stop.
He is Vanilla Vic.
Yes.
And I got to give props to. This is why I was saying that Dayball, Coach of the Year, like Dayball completely changed this guy's career around. They didn't sign his 5th-year extension, which is huge for quarterbacks because it's the last cheap deal you can get. They didn't even do that. And this year was like basically if they don't have this miraculous run and don't make the playoffs, Daniel Jones is finding a new home. He's either backing up in New York or he's going somewhere else. And he's earned his way to where they have to pay him. They have to pay Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
He has the keys to this offense, and he's the one making it work. So it's pretty crazy that
They don't have a single receiver.
Nope, not a single good receiver. So you look at where we were talking about Daniel Jones at the beginning of the season, that even halfway during the season, and he's found a way to get his job back and get a big payday.
Yeah. So I wanted to eat my words because he hasn't really had that good of a career, but this game, like this is by far the biggest game that he's played in his career, and he played perfectly. Vikings, we knew it was going to come at some point. They weren't going to go to the Super Bowl. But to lose the way that they did, like the 4th down, Cousins pass to Hawkinson.
It's perfect for Kirk Cousins.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's perfect for Kirk Cousins.
So frustrating.
And
because you had this season that was like things were just going your way somehow. Like you were finding ways to win. Everybody was hating on you, and you were like, "Look, we're winning games. Don't care about the point differential. Seen a playoff game. Like if we can ride this magic out a few more games, you never know what could happen." And then they just like laid down and died at the end.
No, so remember the Lions game where they lost, and we were like, it must suck to be pointed as frauds your whole season, even though you have a good record. You go up against a team that's way worse than you, they're favored, and then they win. Yeah. That's just
chance to prove people wrong.
Yeah, that's just it's even worse for this has to be one of the worst losses or one of the worst teams, I guess. Like ever. Like this was a terrible season for them. They were kept winning, as you said, they kept winning these games. They kept proving people wrong. And then when it comes to the games that actually mattered, they just stunk the bed in every one of them. In every single one of them.
Except the Bills.
Yeah. Yeah, where they shocked the world and got the Bills.
2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
They got rolled by the Lions. They got absolutely boat raced by the Cowboys. They got killed by the Eagles. And they lost in the playoffs to the Giants. So yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, like that's I almost feel bad for him, especially Minnesota has just had such a bad luck with with
Those teams are
Super
never good.
Bowls and playoffs, and every time that they're in it, something goes wrong. So to
Never
have a
support.
team where you could look at your team and go, hey, we won, we're 13-4, like we should be able to kill these
To
Giants
believe in
teams.
something.
Yeah, and just to have to believe in Kirk Cousins is brutal.
But I will say, in Kirk's defense, like defense is what lost in that game. Ultimately, he choked and like he pissed down his leg at the end of the game. But they couldn't touch Barkley or Daniel Jones
No, they couldn't do,
the
and
whole game.
it's funny, like you look
That
at
one drive that was like 17 plays that they started from like their own 5 or 10 yard line in the second
oh,
quarter.
they just dwindle them
Like,
down.
unbelievable.
Yeah. They just
I've
dwindle
seen
them
them
down
do
in the
that.
run game.
But,
And
like, that would just give me flashbacks.
no, when a team successfully runs the Statue of Liberty against you, it it doesn't go right. Which I didn't know that that was called the Statue of Liberty. The
Yeah.
old pump fake and then or
Right.
the fake throw and handoff behind your back. But what a great name, especially for the New York team to do it.
Yeah.
Statue of Liberty coming in.
Well,
That's
it was the Boise State play. They did it against Oklahoma in basketball, I think it was, like years ago. So
oh
it kind of
okay.
made it famous.
That makes sense.
If you ever want to see a crazy college football game, look up highlights from that game.
Will do.
It's a lot better than the.
Is it on the Boise State blue field too?
Oh, it's not because
Ah,
it's
it's a shame.
Fiesta Bowl. Yeah, but it's a lot better than the trick play that Minnesota tried to run, which they threw it back to Kirk Cousins. The 3rd and 1, like pretty early in the. I think it was their second drive of the game, and they had that 3rd and 1.
Yeah,
They
and
like
yeah, they threw to
couldn't
Kirk
have a quick
-2 yards.
but they threw it to Kirk,
Yes.
and he got walloped.
He got killed. Back to that before we move on. That last throw to TJ Hawkinson under the sticks, just a classic Kirk Cousins throw there, and it just makes you think, like, is he like, was he just like at least my completion percentage will be up, like at least I'll get a completion. Like,
I think his
what's
instinct
the
is
mindset
just
there?
like it's just like pure instinct.
Just like, oh,
Absolutely
he's
nobody's open. There's TJ Hawkins 3 yards away. No,
the
like
yeah,
especially when you have a guy like Jefferson, just throw it up.
just toss it
You
to
have
him.
to know, like I know it's instinct, but you just have you can't happen.
No,
Like the
and
Kobe Myers thing, like yeah, it's
it
instinct, and like you look back on it, he probably hates himself for doing it, but it can't happen.
and it also, like, why is Hawkinson even running that route? It's the last play of the game. If you don't get this,
Have
it's
a
over.
defender up close, I guess.
And it was dumb, just all around dumb. All right, I think the dumbest game of the weekend: Chargers, Jacksonville, the Wise Bowl. We both had you had the Chargers, I had Jacksonville, and holy crap, Chargers. The- John
I don't know. It's
Staley still has a job.
unbelievable.
They're gonna ride with Staley. Like this is still, it just baffles my mind. This was like the dumbest coach
Fired
game I've ever seen.
Lombardi, offensive
Yeah, they fired
coordinator.
the offensive coordinator, and but there was so many, like, everyone should be fired.
Mm.
They were running plays. They started running plays at like the 20-second mark. They weren't taking it down all the way to 10 or 5. They I mean they were up 30-0 or 27-0, sorry, but still 27-0.
It's
Like
like it's too on brand.
yeah,
Like, it's on
yeah.
like they got up 27-0. I was like, literally would not be surprised if they blew this. Like when the Jags scored before the half, like this is trouble. If they don't go down and put this game away, it's some serious trouble. And the Zay Jones touchdown when nobody was within 30 yards of him.
Yeah,
At
that was
that point, I was like,
yeah.
this game might be over.
Mhm.
They were down. They were up by 13.
And it still looked like they were just like you could feel the collapse coming.
Yeah.
You could just feel it coming, and then they got the ball back, and you're like, "Oh god, like this is happening." They got the 2-point
Instant 3
conversion.
and out.
Yeah, instant 3 and out afterwards. They're driving down the field, and they chose not to kick a field goal late in the game. They chose not to go for a touchdown, which was off brand too. Um, they just like
What happened to guy who went for it on every 4th down? That
Dude,
was who
that's the
Staley
thing.
was,
Yeah.
and we ripped him for it, but, like,
But
at the
that
time, it
you
was
gotta die. You gotta die on your
back
hill.
up and do it, yeah.
Yeah, you gotta die on your hill. You can't change it because we're complaining about it. And like they didn't run the ball. They ran the ball 7 times at the second half. 7 times. They were up by 27 or by 20 the whole time and ran the ball 7 times. It
Yeah,
doesn't make any
all
sense.
around.
A kid who
There's
plays been
no
playing
way.
Madden wins that game. Oof. I just can't. And props to Trevor Lawrence. I mean, started the game 4 interceptions. One was a tip. The other looked like a PI, but 2 bad balls as well.
Yeah, really bad.
And it just looked he was Peterman for a half. Like they were
What
riding him with
was it 3 in
Peterman
the first quarter, or was it
3 in the first quarter. Yeah,
yeah. It was my dad said, he's like, "What if he just throws 12 interceptions?"
that's what it looked like he was on
Like, he
pace to
just
do.
keep
Yeah.
throwing them
What if he just kept throwing them?
every
And
drive.
God, it.
He punted the first drive, and then he threw 3 straight interceptions.
And then they came back
Really
and
looked
won.
like it was never gonna stop.
And then they came back and won.
It's just there's nothing to say other than, like, that's just the Chargers. It's who they are.
Yeah.
I was so ready, like, this year, I was ready to be ahead of the curve and be like, "I'm gonna trust in this team." Like, they got into the playoffs. This is Herbert's first playoff game. Like, it's time to show the world that this is a different team. Like,
It's
they're gonna go on a run this year.
it's
And
not
they
a
got
different
up, and
team.
I was like, I was riding high. I was like, I knew it. They're so much better than Jacksonville. And then it just started to fall apart. First, it was like kind of slow. It was like, all right, you let them score. Okay, you don't go score your first drive. Then the Zay Jones touchdown. I was like, oh shit! Like, here we go.
And I think Doug had a great coaching job. This was a great
Hmm?
job by Doug. He he went on it, went for it on 2 when he needed to. He went for it on 4th down when he needed to. And it never felt like he was doing it. And it was like normally sometimes it's Doug and it's like, oh Doug, he's just out here just trying
Hmm.
it again. But it seemed like every time it was a
Oh, the
great
one
time to do
fourth
it.
down, like they went in that weird formation. And we're like,
Yeah,
doing here,
the
Doug? Like,
he
why are we not just QB sneaking? And then the play gained like 25 yards. Like, all right, well,
yeah, I think they said it was like a 40 back in the 40s when they used to run that formation. The 3 running backs in the
yeah,
back. And
yeah, it's like the Army Navy, like the
mhm.
wishbone.
Yeah, yeah. And it was oh god. And there was so many like Joey
The 2 point
Bosa.
conversion. It was like, what are they doing? Like, you're turning a, like, you have a guaranteed 3 point game, and now you're like, you can make it a 4 point game if you miss. And then they got it, and then they kicked field goal to win by 1.
Well, and
It's
that
like
one
everything just worked out.
that was stupid too because Joey Bosa slams his helmet on the sidelines and it makes it from the 1 yard line instead of the 2 yard line. And I know
When you
one
have
yard.
Trevor, it's like it's probably not that hard to just jump over top and
Yep. Yeah, he's
Tyler Huntley.
mm-hmm. And God, it just inexcusable. Absolutely inexcusable. Everything about it.
Everyone.
Yeah. Everyone needs to be fired, cut, traded. I don't know. I feel
Move
bad for
the
Herbert though.
team.
Yeah,
I
move the
do
team back.
too, like, kind of. But also, like, score.
Yeah.
Score a
Did you
touchdown
see
in the
his
second
passing
half.
log?
Mm.
They're all like little dink and dunk, like short passes. It showed like it was a comparison between his passes completed and like where they were on the field versus Josh Allen. And it was like they're just
Yeah.
not even playing the same game right now. Like they're playing 2 different football. And I guess that's on the
Also, like,
coordinator, but it's on the head
for
coach too.
him,
Or him, yeah.
he deserves some of the blame,
That's the weird thing that Herbert's never gotten any blame. He never
except
has.
from Manuel Acho,
Yes, the social media
who's
quarterback. He won.
floating.
He really he won this weekend.
He was,
With
yeah, he was the winner of Saturday night, along with Trevor.
yeah, him and Trev. Did you see Trev Waffle House afterwards? Like a nice Southern boy.
I also, I also saw he posted the GIF they had us in the first half.
Oh yeah, yeah.
On,
It's a great
blew
gift.
up on Twitter.
All right, last game, the worst game of the week, which was funny because it started out being. I guess it wasn't the worst game of the weekend. The Cowboys one was. That was a terrible game, but
Hmm.
Seahawks at halftime up by 1. I
Okay.
was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Hmm.
Because I didn't you texted me when we did Wise Picks, no Niners, and
Yeah.
I was like, "Look, I like the money line, I don't like the spread." And then it came at halftime, and I was like, "What do we do? Like, are the Niners gonna blow this?" But no,
It's
Brock
almost
Purdy.
like annoying me that
Yeah,
we might lose.
yeah, it was
Just
annoying me
because it
too.
would turn like everything that I knew upside down. And I was like, come on.
It ruined the whole playoffs for me. I would have no
Watch
idea what to
Gino
do.
go to
Yeah,
Philly.
but Brock, he had a bad first half. Second half, he was classic Brock. Brock, he's just the man. Brock is the man, dude. He's not lost a single game, and I don't think he's like I think they're going to the Super Bowl. It might be a hot take, but
I
I
don't
don't even
know
think
if
it
he
is at
can
this
handle
point.
Philly.
I don't know. Philly, it's funny. This is like if you were to
First he's
make
got to handle Dallas.
yeah, that's true. But if you wanted to make a defense in a lab to combat Philly, be the 49ers. Like their defense is just awesome. And it wasn't going like you could throw over the top of them and clearly Gino, he had it in the first half. Was thrown over top of him. He was dinking and diming. DK DK had a great game, but just wasn't enough. Wasn't enough for
It's
Brock.
like they played a really good game and they still lost by never how many points.
Lost by like almost 20,
Me.
18 points. Yeah. They
That's like they're just not even close to that level, and they
no,
played a perfect first half.
and the Niners just have too many weapons. There's too many things going on. Debo had a
When
great
Debo,
game.
when Debo and McCaffrey are cooking, are unstoppable.
No, because you
They're
can
always
and
open.
Brock, he can just find them wherever he's open in the zone, and then they can run for 80 yards. It's perfect. It's exactly what they need, and they're I think they're gonna be sweeping teams. But we'll get to that when we talk about the matchups.
Perfect spelled Purfect.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Seattle, dream season for them. Even though you lose by 18 in the first round, dream season for them. They get a top 5 pick as well. And you're riding high. They're gonna re-sign Geno. They're gonna draft a quarterback or whatever they do. And I'm excited for Seahawks fans that they get a nice season after. Oh, you thought trading Russ it's gonna be a couple dark years. I mean, we had him as top 3 bottom team picks.
Yeah, like maybe worst.
Yeah. Yep. So
And
good
when you
for
come
them.
into the season and you say that Geno Smith is your starter,
Yeah. No, there's
instantly
not a
like a
lot of
red flag.
yeah.
We
Exactly.
thought at least.
hmm Not anymore. He didn't write back. He
Not
never wrote
anymore.
back the whole time. Yeah.
Right back.
All right.
It'll be interesting to see if he can repeat, but again, that's our off-season discussion.
No, and he's gonna get his offseason bag. Like they're gonna pay him at least 10 million a year or more than that. But
Yeah.
so that's I'm excited for Gino as well. Glad Gino gets to live out as an NFL starter for at least another year. I'm guessing.
I would think so.
Yeah. All right, divisional round. Jags Chiefs. The line. Do you know what the line is? I think it's like
Eight
nine
and
and
a
a
half?
half. I think it's
Nine?
9.5. Let me go to FanDuel. Or not. What do we use? Do we use FanDuel? I don't know.
He's DraftKings.
DraftKings.
Like,
That's what it is. I was looking for the link that normally pops up. There it is. All right, 8.5. You're right. 8.5. Jags. I kind of like the 8.5 by the Jags.
you do. The problem is like if Trevor shits his pants again, like
The
it's
Chiefs.
just gonna be
Yeah.
a blowout. It's
Yeah. The
not gonna
Chiefs won't let
like
him come
we're
out.
not gonna creep back in.
hmm
So I don't expect that to happen. Like that was a colossal meltdown. But even if he throws 2 picks
Yeah, they're in for
first
some
half,
trouble.
like, the Chiefs are just gonna stop them.
I
That's
agree.
what I worry about. But like if he plays a really good game, and he's probably pretty confident after that game.
This game wasn't
He'll
too
be
far long
competitive.
ago, wasn't it? When was the last time they played? I guess
Yeah.
it was in November. It was a while ago. They lost by
The
10.
Chiefs beat him by
By
yeah.
10, yeah.
This is the
Trevor in
same
that
line
game,
that we got
no turnovers.
earlier in the season.
I just looked at
Turnovers
that
was
point.
still
You know what the Jags record was at that point when they played the Chiefs?
what, like 3-7?
3-7.
Was it really?
Yeah. And now they're 8 or 9-8. 10-8 because of the playoff win. So I mean, damn, they lost one game that whole time in between the last time they faced the Chiefs. Damn. All right.
That was the loss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that was the last
Um,
one. All right.
I don't know. The Chiefs scare me a little bit.
Yeah, they get the bye too. They're getting Clyde back. I don't know what that
Oh, that
means.
doesn't. Oh, I meant like they scare me the other way.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know.
They
About
haven't
the
been
Chiefs.
they haven't been
It's
covering,
like
and
when you can't just press the Tyreek Hill button, that changes things.
I agree. I just think that the Travis Kelsey button is still fully activated.
Yes,
So
yeah.
some whether it's the Jaguars or they move past the Jaguars and it's the next team, one team in the playoffs is just gonna leave them open for 4 touchdowns, pretty much. So that's what's gonna happen there. The Eagles Giants is
I think
what's the
this is a
spread?
tight game.
7.5 Giants. I love the 7.5.
I think this is a tight, tough divisional game.
I think the Giants are going to cover this, and I think they actually have a pretty good chance of winning, which is scary to think about.
Really?
I think they do. Like maybe I'm just riding too high on the past couple weeks, but I feel like they played the Eagles with their third strings very close.
They also played them with their first strings, and they got
Yeah, and they got blown
torched.
up. Yeah. That's true. That is true.
The thing that concerns me about the Eagles is that they peaked too early in the season. That bothers me. And I said it at the beginning of the season. When we were talking to Eagles Bills Super Bowl. It's
Hmm.
like, no, like they're clearly a very good team, but are we seeing the best from them at the wrong time? And I think that's like obvious at
I'm
this
worried
point
about
without Michelle.
the Hurts injury.
I am
Maybe
too.
something still lingering over there. I mean, he didn't look good against the Giants game when he came back.
Mm.
Um, that's what I'd be worried about if I'm Eagles fan.
Hmm.
They do have their saving grace, which is Boston Scott, though, who only scores touchdowns against the Giants and only plays well against the Giants. So that's their secret weapon. And if the Giants can figure out how to cover Boston Scott, they can stop him.
Trouble.
I think he has 6 touchdowns against. I don't maybe it's more, but I know he has 60% of his career touchdowns against the Giants.
Wonder what his anytime touchdown odds are.
It was in this Eagles game. It was like in the final week of the season. It was like apparently it was like plus 1,000, and my buddy said he hammered it because he knew it's against the Giants. He has to hit it.
It's plus 370 anytime touchdown.
Oh, they lowered it. They lowered the odds.
Time.
All right, that's gonna be. I'm excited. It's a great Saturday. I think all these games are great. It's gonna be a great Saturday
Divisional
though.
round is the best of the best.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see
My opinion.
the the divisional of the Eagles Giants. Yeah, the divisional aspect of it.
It's gonna be a dogfight.
Definitely.
And
All right.
like I think if Hurts is healthy, fine. There's nothing to worry about.
I'd agree.
If he's even a little bit banged up, I would be very, very nervous.
I would too. And that it just because like when Hurts is fully healthy, you don't have to play a perfect game. But against this Giants team, if Hurts is not healthy, you're gonna have to try to play almost a perfect game because you know the Giants are coming in with the game plan set up, and they're gonna they're gonna play their perfect game. They're not gonna let Daniel Jones turn it over.
Daniel Jones is gonna be a weapon.
Mm-hmm. Just be prepared for it, Eagles fans.
Deal with carry Daniel Jones.
Running back 1. All right, Bengals Bills. We already mentioned it. DeMar Hamlin game. A lot of emotions in this game. I want to see the Bills get their brinks rent, but other than that, I don't know.
-5 is pretty surprising.
Yeah, that's kind of a lot of
That's a lot of
points.
points.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they know something, because this game feels like a toss-up to me.
I think the -5 comes in because of the injuries to the offensive line that happened in the Ravens game for the Bengals.
Yes, yeah.
Because they
The
lost.
thing with the
Now
Bengals
both their
is like
tackles are out.
they beat the Titans last year in the playoffs when they had 9 sacks.
Yeah, no, that's true. So they've been, especially in the playoffs, they've been able to get around Joe Burrow getting sacked and nailed 100 times. So maybe it won't be a problem. And the Bills pass rush, I don't feel like has been insane. Like they as we mentioned earlier, they let Skylar Thompson, I know one of them was defensive, but score 31 points on him. And it should be like they couldn't even cover the 5 against the Dolphins. So, 5, you're right. Five's a lot of points. All right, Cowboys -3.5 against the Niners.
Niners minus
What? Oh, sorry. Yeah,
Niners.
plus
Win.
3.5 against the Niners. Yeah. If if those extra points aren't taken care of,
No, that's
this
what I'm
game is
thinking.
gonna be
I'm just
interesting.
nervous. Like I can't. Having 3 NFC East teams
In
of
the
the 4 remaining is torture.
it is. It is
Like, I
torture.
don't know. Like I'm an Eagles fan right now. Just don't want to see the freaking Giants. 'Cause I just get flashbacks to like Eli Manning when they get in the playoffs at 9-7, go win the Super Bowl. And Dallas, like I can't stand it. The Niners have to beat them.
They do have to beat them.
Have to.
The world couldn't stand a Cowboys in the conference finals, especially against the Eagles. That'd be the
Again.
worst thing in the world.
Uh,
We just need the
just
Niners to
give
pull
me the
out.
Niners,
Yeah, you
please.
need the Niners to pull out.
I can't even bet on this game because like I can't have any other emotional bets. Like can't have an emotional bet and a money bet on one game. That's too much.
They
Just please.
I have faith. I have faith in Purdy for
Please.
whatever that means. I think they're doing it. And if you're looking at the Niners, say you don't win the Super Bowl, say you even lose here. What do you do with Lance? Do you ride
That's a
you
great
ride it with
question.
Purdy, right? He hasn't lost a game. Whether he loses this playoff game or not, he still be 10-1 as a starter. Um, and he took you to the divisional round of the playoffs. You
Mm,
could try to get what you can for Trey Lance, or I don't know, have him back up. Like you traded 3 first round picks up for him.
no.
It's a lot of first round picks.
Like I honestly forgot about him until you said something.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell you do.
No, yeah, it's gonna be a weird situation because like, is another team gonna wanna go out there and try him out? Is he gonna be healthy? Like, who knows? So another wrinkle to this offseason that I'm excited to look into once it finally
Mhm.
comes.
I
So
mean, clearly they're not scared to move on from the guy who got them there.
no, they couldn't
Jimmy,
be.
they're ready to move on. No, he took him to a Super Bowl and an NFC Championship.
That's fair. They're cutthroat. They want the best that's out there.
If
And
they had like if Lance is who they thought he was, then obviously that's who you go with.
yeah, I
Purdy's
think so
fine for
too.
this offense, but he's not a superstar.
Not
Lance
until he
has
wins
that
a Super
potential.
Bowl. Not until he
Yeah,
wins
and
a Super.
if he
Yeah,
wins a Super Bowl, like who cares if
yeah,
he's a
yeah,
superstar or not? You want a Super Bowl?
yeah. You call it a day. It's funny. It's like a luxury problem. It's like
Yes, it is a
it's
luxury
a team
problem.
that NFL or a problem that NFL teams dream over. So
So yeah, it's
they're
like,
in a good
well, we
situation.
just
No matter what.
won the Super Bowl with this guy, but this guy might be better.
Yeah, yeah. All right, championship. Who do you think go? Actually, screw the champ. Who do you think goes to the Super Bowl now? Out of the 4 or 8 teams.
I'm gonna stick with my Bills pick. Um, I'll go with the Niners. So I'll have to watch an NFC East team in the Super Bowl again.
I'm going Niners, and God, this is tough. This is really tough. I think I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. I just want to. I want to.
Match.
What? A
Match from a
rematch?
few
Yeah,
years ago.
yeah. A rematch.
Uh,
The
Kyle
old,
Shanahan blown game.
the old Jimmy threw it too
The
far
Kyle
at the end.
Shanahan blown game, but
One of them.
no.
Yes, one of. Not funny. Not even the Kyle Shanahan blown Super Bowl. Just one of them.
Hey.
Just, just one of them. I want to see. I think what I want to see happen is the Bills face off against the Chiefs again, and then all the Bills fans get excited for like revenge and stuff like that, and then they'll just get ass
Hmm.
banked by the Chiefs, and then Stephon Diggs is out watching the ceremony again
For the third time.
for the third time. That's really my dream. That's what I want to see happen.
I like Diggs and I like the Bills, and I don't hate Damar Hamlin.
I don't hate Damar Hamlin either. Do not hate Damar Hamlin whatsoever. I just hate everyone else on the Buffalo Bills. And I blame their fans specifically because I am close to a couple of them in that.
Like the nicest people in the world.
No, they are the worst. Cocky sons of bitches. All right. That does it for the recap of what we missed. Anything else that I guess we missed from the week 18? Not really. I mean, they've all come to fruition now.
Ever talk about Howell?
No, no. Take the Commanders. Go ahead.
So apparently they've been telling teams that they're telling coordinators they need to hire because they fired Scott Turner.
Yeah.
And telling those guys that they're going to interview that Howell is like the position to be the starting quarterback for next year.
That's what you want, right?
I guess.
Who else would you like? What if a report came out and they're like, "Oh, Heineke is going to be quarterback 1"? Wouldn't that be more disappointing
Obviously
news?
not that. Like,
yeah.
Yes, that of course. And Wentz, like, obviously he's done. But I think it's because of the ownership change, and they're not going to make a splash in the middle of a sale.
Yeah.
I think that's why.
Because
I feel like Ron would be like all in for Carr.
No, and I feel that's probably why they haven't fired Ron to begin with, because they don't want a new owner to come in, or an owner that's not there yet to hire a coach with money that's not there yet. So that's why you're sticking with Ron. And you okay with sticking with, like, you're forced to now, but what's your thoughts on sticking with Ron Rivera for another year?
I mean, I'd rather not.
Just like the whole thing, you'd rather not.
Yeah. Young QB combo. I don't want like the old stubborn coach
and the young QB who's going to be on a short leash. Yeah.
Because Ron needs to keep his job. So yeah, that's not the most ideal scenario. But like that's what we have. There's no reason to complain about it, I guess. And as far as Howell goes, like I've sold myself on him. One throw that he made to McLaurin down the sideline was enough.
That's all you needed.
The potential. Like you have to make the right hire at coordinator. At QB, I guess they have the same QB coach, but
they were saying Pat Shurmur.
Right.
They're
Shurmur,
saying,
who's the guy in Carolina? Bevel. And other guy, Jim Caldwell, I think. What was the other name that I heard? Somebody that's being like interviewed as a head coach.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm not gonna know for a little bit.
No, yeah, it's gonna be a little bit too. I feel like
Charles London.
What do you have a dream guy that you want out there?
Not really.
Yeah,
I guess I'd be. I don't know enough about these guys, and like, there's no rock star on the market. I think Bevel is who the Twitter crowd likes.
All right,
Studsville is a great name.
Studsville is a great name.
In Miami, I don't know if it's Studsville or Studesville, but we're gonna go Studsville if they hire him. Yeah, Shurmur. Frank Reich. Yeah, Reich would be. That would be big.
Yeah, as someone who's also looking for an offensive coordinator, I want Reich, I want Cliff, but it looks like it's gonna be Bill O'Brien.
Gone.
Yeah, Cliff's in Thailand? He's hanging out.
Yeah.
Told teams, don't even worry about me. Dude, that's a genius move. Absolutely genius. The Cardinals are paying you for the next 5 years. You might as well take a break.
Is the extension that long?
Yeah, because they extended them this year. Yeah, so 5 years guaranteed getting paid by the Cardinals. So take a break. Go to.
That was one that like we said from the beginning, like it's not.
No, that was dumb from the beginning. I agree.
From the second they hired him and they extended him, and it's like it's just not like he's just not a good coach. What are we doing here?
Oh, 1 hour ago, Dan Snyder has no interest selling to Jeff Bezos.
Yeah. The Washington Post stuff.
Oh, okay. That's weird. So, when do you think that's going to come down? Anytime this offseason?
Finley Yeah, JP Finley said that it could be done by March
Really?
for
That
like the league meetings.
that would be
It
huge
would be
because
awesome.
yeah. No, that would be huge because not only do you have, the owner of the future, but you save this offseason if it's by March. You
Mhm.
could do it by the draft and he can come in and do whatever big trade he wants to do or whatever.
Yeah. And apparently the new owner, whoever it is, wants that the RFK land
I saw that.
again. Would be
That's
even
massive.
more awesome.
Yeah, bring it back. Bring it back to where it belongs in
Yeah.
DC. Uh that would be sweet. I that yeah, oh, looking good for the Commanders. Just need it.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's like
Pats.
I don't even care about the football product right now.
No, you don't need to.
Get me the ownership stuff done, and then we can start talking about on the field.
I agree.
Though I think Sam Howell's going to be the next like quarterback.
He's Mahomes. He's gonna start that last game, and now he's gonna be
Yeah.
Mahomes. It all makes sense. All right. Pats, I mean, they're gonna get probably Bill O'Brien. They signed a defensive coordinator, which is cool. It was Gerard Mayo. He was rumored to
Oh, yeah,
go
he's the
other
linebackers
places.
coach, right?
Yeah, and he was rumored to go, and he was interested in other teams as their defensive coordinator. So the Pats stopped that. They hired him as a defensive coordinator. Posts on Instagram, we're looking for an offensive coordinator, which is pretty funny. Like it's sad how it got to that point where it's just like, yeah, the social media is telling us like we are going to look for an offensive coordinator, or die trying. But and if
It's not
it's
that hard to find one.
no, and if it's Bill O'Brien, it's better than Matt Patricia. So that's all that matters. They need a corner, um, and some O line help, and I hope they trade for Hopkins because the Cardinals GM said that the Patriots, like apparently he's very rooted with the Patriots, with some former Pat guy. So everyone's like, oh,
Was
they
it?
have to trade Hopkins to the
And you
Patriots.
know what you're gonna have to give up to get him, right?
Yeah, I'll give you a third and a fourth. Call it a day. It's called in. It's called in. Someone called to Roger. What do you think? I mean, how much did he get originally traded for? It was a second round pick and
Yeah, but they
the
got
running back.
fleeced.
Yeah, they did
David
get fleeced.
Johnson.
Yeah, David Johnson. Do you think it's a first rounder for Hopkins?
Why wouldn't it be?
I don't know because I don't want it to be. Let me look up some Hopkins mock trades.
He is 30.
Yeah, he's 30. He was on PEDs. Let's see what give him
He
give
had
him
a really good
I'll give
year
you a
this
second
year.
round. Yeah, no, he had a great year. Or not great year, but great year for what he played.
11,000 yards in his. Incredible.
But
In 9 games, 717 yards, 64 catches. Like that's damn good.
for 9 games too, and half those games he's been playing with David Blau and Trace McSorley.
Yeah, with absolute shitters.
Yeah, and even when Midget Man was there, he's too worried about COD.
Yeah. So I
Hey,
guess like he was hurt last year and he wasn't great. 8 touchdowns. The year
you know
before,
what's funny though?
15 catches, 1,400 yards.
They sneakily, because like right after the season ended, the top 10 draft picks came out. They sneakily have the third overall pick.
Hey, really?
I 90% sure it's a third overall pick. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's top 5. I know that. And that's just
Yeah,
something.
third pick. Indy's fourth.
Yeah, I just didn't even think about that when when the season was ending. Like I never thought of them as that terrible, but I guess that's what happens. All right. We're just kind of exhausting ourselves now. Let's go to College Corner. That's all we got for NFL. You want to go first? You want me to go first?
I can go. We just had to play at. Well, wait. Did I ever talk about? No, I never talked about Ohio State. So we beat Ohio State at home, ranked 24th. So that was a nice bounce back from the absolute dumpster fire that had been the team the last 2 games. I think we're going to be okay at home this year, and then on the road, opposite. We look bad again at Iowa. We're actually able to score some points this time, but the defense got shredded, which is kind of how it goes when you play Iowa, especially at their building. I wasn't like expecting them to win, but turn the ball over so much, and it's incredibly frustrating. But Julian Reese, our center, is like finally starting to play with a little bit of confidence. I think he had like 12 points the other night. That's big because he's literally our only big guy. Our backup is hurt, and we have no one else. So they're just gonna continue to get shredded, the boards and in the paint. Like good big men, which sucks. But I think we'll win some big games at home. Maybe make the tournament. It's gonna be a bubble season.
Michigan Thursday. Is that one
Hmm?
of the ones you're winning at home?
I hope so. I mean, they like the last Michigan game they lost by 35. It's Hunter Dickinson, who I hate so much. Like gonna go off again against us, like he always does, and we have no one to defend him. So I worry about that. But Michigan, like around him, is pretty ass.
Yeah, he's definitely their best player by far.
By a lot.
They were so. What's their record now? Ten
Under
and seven.
Michigan.
10, I'm talking about Michigan. 10-7. You guys are
I think
what?
we're
11-6.
11-5, 11-6.
Yeah.
At the Big Ten this year is so weird. Like literally anyone can beat anyone. So other than Purdue, there's no scary team even.
No, third.
Indiana was supposed to be the best team, and they're not even ranked anymore.
Man, I think we looked at this earlier when we were talking about College Corner, but everyone in the Big Ten has 10 wins besides Nebraska and Minnesota, who has 9 wins and 7. That's ridiculous.
There's no like absolute stinkers. Well, Minnesota's pretty bad. Like there's no really good team. Obviously Purdue's number 3, so like they're the outlier.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, like I think Rutgers is solid. I think Illinois can be really good, but they're like a little bit all over the place. Michigan's meh. Iowa's okay, I guess. State's fine. Northwestern's 3-3. That tells you everything you need to know. Indiana's 2-4. They were picked to win the conference. Ohio State was ranked a few weeks, like last week, and now they're 2-4 in the conference. It doesn't make any sense. Like I have no idea how you rank these teams.
No, I'm looking at it right now. It's like they're all so close to each other. That doesn't make any sense. I guess you just got to go by conference play, which sadly you guys are 2-4 in right now. But
well, we've had a tough start.
Yeah, that's all right. Not as bad as a start as my guys, so it's all right. I'll get to us now. On Saturday, Tennessee came to town. It's my first game back. Pumped, excited. They lost by 43. Gigi Jackson put up 0, 0, and 1. They just couldn't score, and it was never close. 0. Goose egg. It was this never close. It was never close the whole game. And they got absolutely boat raced by everyone on the team. There wasn't like one thing we did wrong. We couldn't play any defense. We just couldn't score at all, and then never played any defense. And then Tuesday, we go into Kentucky and beat Kentucky, which they snapped like a 20-game win streak in Kentucky for Kentucky. Like a hallmark win for the Gamecocks, exactly what they needed. Michi Johnson scores 6 threes again. Gigi gets 16. Michi Johnson has turned into our best player. If he's hot and gets riding, the whole team can get behind him. But then we come back out on this Saturday, Texas A&M. Momentum coming our side, classic Gamecock move. Completely shits the bed. Like another boat racing by 41 points. So I don't know what to do with this team.
We've dealt with some very similar teams this year.
Occurrences, yeah.
Like, you guys go on these stretches for like 8 minutes where you literally just don't score a point?
It's not even 8 minutes. It's like 10. It's like we're lucky if we have 10 points by halfway through the first half.
Oh yeah, so are we.
Yeah,
The Rutgers game, like they scored their first two possessions, and I was like, oh, look at this, like we might have a decent offensive game. Then with 8 minutes left in the half, it was 12-4.
I the the
I
A
was
and
like,
M game.
what do we do here?
We the first possession, they're moving the ball around. They get a nice open look. It misses, but I was like, hey, like we're moving the ball around. Like this is what I want to see. Like
That's
people moving, and immediately, like it was just after that, just no, everyone just there's statues out there. There's statues,
yeah.
and it's got as much as I want to believe in Lamont, and I know uh it's year zero, but like he's not putting up any sort of game plan. They come out of timeouts and just have the worst calls ever. They turn the ball over at the worst times. It's like right when they get some sort of momentum, they turn the ball over.
Mm.
And we did like I was with a couple of my guys, and we took the walk of shame out. We left,
Oh no.
and
Oh,
like,
I mean it.
and especially
Game that bad.
yeah, no, it was awful. But like, I'm the loudest person in the stadium. Like when I like everyone, I felt like everyone was watching us when we walked. I was like, God, I
Yeah.
felt like a fucking
Have
loser.
we talked about the photo? I don't think we
No,
have yet.
no, I don't think we have. All right. So against the
Share your
Tennessee game,
screen.
yeah,
You
I'll
have
show
it
it on my. I have
ready
it
to
still.
go.
I
It's an
at
all-time photo.
it's actually hilarious. Like we should we could put it part of the collage for people who aren't on the live stream right now. But the oh, sorry, I was looking at seeing if anyone commented. It says Dennis says you were his first and only love. But anyways, here's the picture.
On
It's
words.
it's me with a bunch of other students just fed up, absolutely fed up. Some guy must have been watching the
A
game,
bunch is
huh?
an overstatement. I said a bunch is an overstatement
Yeah,
because
no,
wasn't the
there,
caption of the picture like
no, yeah, there's like 8 people there,
no invite for
and
students?
so all right, some guy tweeted it out. He commented on the USC's post and was like, "Yeah, good to see USC Junior because oh, it's funny that USC's in California.
Yeah,
Yeah,
in California.
yeah. Their student section's rocking today, which is an unfair thing to post because that is not like that is a part of our student section, but that is not our whole student section. And there are people in the seats behind us that are all students, and there's a whole back row which are all students, and a whole nother side that are all students. So
Uh,
then Big Game Boomer goes ahead and posts it on his Instagram story with all these other basketball home field advantages, and just looks at ours and goes, South Carolina. I wanted to murder Big Game Boomer. I hate like that guy is
I blocked him on Twitter.
he's the worst. And that's just such an unfair picture to post.
I know.
You That is not the whole student section, and he should know it. If he ever went to Colonial Life, there's a whole big section that says the cockpit. That's not it. But it
Why don't
is
you sit in the cockpit?
I do sit this it's part of the cockpit. It's just it's front row. So I want to get the best seats possible. Also, another story where it comes to the student section. It's about halfway through the A&M game. We're down 50-18 at half. And these
There.
guys behind me, it's like right before half, they're like, "How's the game up there? Sit down. Like we're all trying to watch." And I was like, and a worker comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, a couple people behind you are a little annoyed that you guys are standing up." And I looked at the worker, and I've known this worker for 3 years now. I've been going to every game, and I've seen that
Mm.
worker a million times. I go, Myra, I ain't sitting down. Like this is a college basketball game. I said, if you need to handle something, go ahead and handle it. But I'm not taking a seat. Like this is a basketball game. And the guys were like, they're still like chirping us, like their own fans, like just down, like
Yeah.
boo, like, and I'm like, just stand up, just stand up, like
Yeah.
everybody else. I'm at a college basketball game, and it did. That's also why the walk of shame felt a little personal because I'm sure the people behind me were probably
Oh yeah.
cheering when I left, but
Yeah.
they left right at halftime anyway. So it's like if you're gonna leave right at half,
Mm.
don't complain that I'm standing up. We're also down by 50,
I don't
so
think I've ever sat down during a basketball game in Maryland.
you're at a college the only time I was sitting down is when we were down by 50. Like, anytime there's any momentum, I wanna be
If
there
it
cheering
wasn't
for
the
this team.
student section, it'd be one thing,
Yeah, like, if I bought these
but
tickets and
you're
people
in
behind
the
me who
student
yeah,
section.
yeah, you should be standing. And that's what the team should expect too, right? They want people standing
Mhm.
and cheering and being that was so ridiculous. So that's why I was like, "Myra, you know what? You wanna kick me out for standing in a basketball game? Go figure it out, but I am not standing." She never
What'd she
talked to me
say?
again. No, she was like I looked at her, I said, "I am not sitting down." She goes, "Alright. Alright. See you later." They, game tonight, and I'll still be there. I don't care if we lose, I'm still there. So, we'll, it's
That's
a
how I was
must
last year.
look, it's a must-win game. The Rebels, they've been on a 6-game losing streak. They haven't won any conference games, and this is one we gotta win. It's a must-win. Putting it there now. So,
It's a
it
line.
it might be, it's 5 my we're underdogs 5.5. Plus 200 money line. I already took it. It's in my parlay for tonight.
Dear.
So,
I'll be pulling for you guys.
I appreciate it. So, big
You can
game,
even watch it. What time's the game? I might watch it.
6:30. It's probably if I'm gonna guess,
Okay.
it's on SEC Network because all of our games are on
Yeah,
SEC Network.
probably.
Yeah. We're the
God
kings of
forbid they
SEC
put you on
Network.
ESPN too.
No, we're the kings of SEC Network. The one game that we do have, it's on ESPN, and it's in Carolina. Alabama's coming to town.
Okay.
The game starts at
Bama's what,
game
number
starts
4?
yeah, they're 4. The game starts at 9 p.m. That
Yeah, I mean,
that never
if
happens for the
all our
Cubs.
games to start at 9.
Yeah,
Big
yeah,
10 loves to schedule 9 p.m. tips.
really?
It's their favorite.
No, this is the
We have
first one I've ever
yeah,
had. First one I've ever been to that's
we've
9
had
p.m.
2 already this season. We have another one at the end of this month against Indiana. That's a 9 p.m. tip.
And it's funny, this game, I was telling the people I go with, I was like, my old roommate Riley, shout out, shout out. And I was like, look, I'm not standing 2 hours or I'm not standing in line early for this game. I will get in when it opens, but I'm not gonna stand and wait. Like I'm not gonna wait to get
Night?
the tonight. No, yeah, I'm going right. The gates open at 5:30. I'll be there at like 5:25. I'm not waiting in line. Cause like for the Alabama game, I'll wait in line just because it's at 9 p.m. and we're gonna get boat raced by 40. But
Hmm.
I can't waste so much time standing in line anymore. Not when we keep losing by this
So
much.
I
I
don't know
just
if
need
you
one
guys are
win.
able to do this. We have a little trick in Maryland to avoid the line. If you crop your ticket,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't say student ticket, then you just go. We have our student entrance is on like the side of the building, and there's another entrance like right next to that.
Yeah.
So we just go up, and if there's a line, just go in the other entrance.
Yeah. I
So
think
sometimes
it's
they'll say like, "Are you a student?" And you just say no. Like, okay. And then you just walk in and they scan your screenshot. You know how they always are like screenshots won't get you in? They do.
all right. I'll have to try. If the line's bad, I'll try it. I'll take a screenshot of it.
The only issue is like the student gate is where it is because it's like right where the student section is.
Yeah.
So we have to like run a little bit to get our good
Oh,
spots.
we run
'Cause
anyways.
as soon as the gates open, like those people from the student entrance are flown in, and we gotta get there just when they do. So we gotta
We
run.
it's not even like we run if nobody's like in the crowd. I'm just like I'm still gotta book it. I'm still worried. That's the thing. It's
Fun.
just I wonder how much like anxiety and stress has come from I have to make sure I get the tickets or not the tickets but the seats
Yeah.
because it's like back in the day when you were going to see a movie before the assigned seats. It's like oh I
Mhm.
gotta get the good seats and like I would never
I
show
can't
up
believe that
early.
we did that.
Yeah, and you would just pick wherever you wanted. I remember I went to a movie. This woman was laying 3 rows in it was laying in 3 different chairs, and we figured like they were saving it for a friend or whatever. So it was 2 people in the movie theater chair, and then 1 person in the row in front of us in the movie theater chair. And we were like, "Hey, we have 3 people. Can we take one of those seats?" And the movie was literally starting, like the opening credits were starting. She's like, "Ah, my friends are coming." I was like, "Her friends ain't never coming," and they never came.
The saving seat, it used to be such a nightmare. I felt bad for the workers that would have to go around and be like, "Excuse me, you can't save those seats."
Yeah.
Oh, well, they're just in the bathroom, and it's like, well, what do you even say to that?
Yeah. What stinks is like sometimes I'll try to go down and like if my girlfriend's coming to the game or one of her friends and they come a little bit later, I'll try to like
Save a
try to
seat,
save a
yeah.
seat and they're like, "No." Like we waited in
Hmm.
line to save a seat. And I was like, "Yeah, I waited in
Which is
line."
fair.
Yeah, no, I was like, "But I waited in line to save the seat, so shouldn't that count for something?" No, I get it. And I give it to them. Like when they
Yeah.
complain or bitch, I'll be like, "Whatever." So,
Yeah, that's what when I have people text me that are like, "Can you save me a seat?"
I'd
I'm
be like,
like,
"Maybe."
I can try,
Yeah, maybe.
right? But like, if there's no seats, shit, like
Sorry, you're
get
sitting
here
in yeah,
earlier.
you're sitting in the back. You're sitting- All right.
Like I will try. I'm not gonna like go out of
Yeah.
my way to be like, "Oh, I'm not saving these." Like I'll say, I'll leave my sweatshirt there, and if somebody asks me to move it, I'm gonna move it.
Yep. The craziest part about this whole South Carolina basketball season so far is that we beat the best team in the ACC. We beat
The
Clemson.
ACC,
Yeah.
they're the best team in the ACC.
Yeah. They are the best team in the ACC right now. They're 7-0 in conference play, 15 and
ACC,
13
what a
overall.
dumpster fire.
Yeah, honestly, Duke's been having a rough year. UNC has had
Yeah.
a terrible year, and
Oh, they are 7-0. Holy shit!
yeah, so the best team in the ACC we beat by 2 points somehow, and we can't beat any SEC teams. I guess besides Kentucky, which is
It's a
also
weird
blasphemy.
sport, man.
College
Weird
basketball,
sport.
weird sport. Also, I hate everyone. Like the second Kentucky lost to the Carolina, there was no praise for Carolina. It was just, oh, can't believe Kentucky
Yeah.
lost. Can't believe Kentucky lost. And as much as I love John Rothstein, we deserved a tweet that night. We deserved it. For the first time all season, we deserved a tweet, and we got nothing. We got a part of a Kentucky collapse tweet, and that's not what I wanted. I wanted my own. And I don't know, but like unless we upset some big team, I don't know if we're ever gonna get a chance again. That was it.
I mean, it's his first year, so you got to give him time to come up with a nickname.
Yeah, that's true. People always say "Midnight at Paris" or "Midnight in Paris." I don't really know what that like.
Yeah.
Is that a saying or something? But all right,
So
that's all I got.
what it means.
I haven't the
Something
recruiting.
that like
I was gonna say the recruiting class stuff about the Gamecocks. I like ever since basketball started, I'm like, all right, just let it happen. Tell me when it happens.
yeah.
I'm not gonna keep track of it anymore.
I heard this is insider information that I probably shouldn't even be sharing.
No,
but,
okay.
apparently, the guy who does the Island site, the 24/7 sports site, thinks that Harbor is a go for the Terps.
Really,
Yeah,
really.
says he wouldn't like. He's not going to crystal ball it, but he said he's theirs to lose.
Great. That's great. I want to hear that at the end of this year. So when he comes to us, I can be like, ha. All right. So right now, I just looked it up. Michigan's given a 35% chance to sign Harbor. Carolina's at 23, and LSU's at 29. That's what it says on the on 3 recruiting prediction machine. So for whatever that means, that's what I'm seeing right here.
I have no idea what that means.
No, neither do I. This has him as this website has him as a D end. He's not a D end. He's a tight end, isn't he?
Hmm.
Yeah, no, then I can't trust this website. Get that out of here. All right. Oh, here it is. 24/7 Sports. Crystal Ball. This crystal ball says it's going to USC, baby.
What?
Yeah. Prediction. This was on August 30th. And who's this? Some random guy says it. Lead expert, John Whittle. Who knows who that guy is? All right. Anyways, now we're just talking out of our ass.
See what his percentages are.
Yeah, you seen anything different?
Ooh, he's only 64%.
For the Cox or for Maryland?
Oh, for John Whittle.
Oh,
Predictions.
John Whittle. Whatever.
It's not a great percentage.
Now, all right, so now I'm looking at this one. It
Probably
says
just crystal ball is too early.
he probably does. Also, we just said we are ignoring it, and now we're looking at all these random predictions that mean nothing until he can.
You started it.
I
You
know.
started
No,
it.
I know. I looked it up. All right. Do you have anything else? I think I'm good.
I am going to show Hunter Dickinson the worst night of his life. 2 nights.
So we want to see. Perfect.
Oh.
I mean, my
To get
buddy
verbally abused.
texted me
Supposed to
today.
make him fight me in the stands, actually.
He said, "Hey, are you gonna be at the game tonight?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Good. Plus 5.5 is a lock." He was like, "Show him the." He was like, "Show him the works," and I was like, "All right, I'm gonna be the X factor." All right,
I take it.
you should have some
The
fun.
last time I took them, they got torched by Colorado State.
Yeah, I remember that. That wasn't great. We've had some bad losses.
No,
this
it's
year.
Ole Miss though. Like, what are we doing? What are we talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah, Old Miss. Come on now. All right, I think that does it. We're gonna get some. You asked about NBA earlier. We'll get some NBA Friday because we'll just do wise picks. We've already talked about a bunch of matchups, so do some NBA Friday. Thank you all for listening. Hope you enjoy your week. Go Cox tonight. See me on TV if you want to watch. You can see me cheering up and down, looking like a fool. All right, Chris, got any taglines?
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see.